The intricacies and utility of ever-accelerating technology can be overwhelming to keep up with and use effectively. Jackson County Library Services Digital Services team offers real solutions in this space.
Our main focus is the fact that we do one-on-one appointments with our patrons, and those take place in our branches, in all 15 branches, most of our branches weekly.
So many people experience a paywall when they need help with their technology. And so when they find out that this is something that they can get with digital services at their closest branch, it's very popular. I constantly get questions of how much does it cost, and when I tell them it's free, they're just really shocked and amazed. I get told by patrons all the time that if it wasn't for what we do, they wouldn't be able to afford help.
Medford resident Ed Kellum came looking for help with the Facebook Messenger app, which he wanted to use to communicate with his grandchildren.
What I saw was incredible. I mean, absolutely life-changing as far as us older people with our grandchildren. It is wonderful to be able to sit there and be able to see them and talk with them, and I didn't know how to do it. So I contacted the Jackson County Library. I mean, it was just literally a matter of minutes for me to get the app put into my phone and for you to teach me how to use it, and it truly was life-changing. I also had another experience with them where they taught me how to use my timer, and what that was really helpful for is I have a horrible time remembering to take my medication at night, and this way I was able to set a pill reminder, and now I get reminded every night at 8:30, and I no longer forget my meds, which put me in the hospital last time I forgot.
Karen Molesky needed some aid with a couple of her devices.
It was a little intimidating for me. I just needed to get some skills, to get some comfortable skills. I used it for both my phone and my laptop, and I needed help to learn how to record songs because I joined the Rogue Music Ensemble. It proceeded quickly to things like how to create a folder on my desktop. I seriously did not even know how to Google. Over the course of 2 years, I think every 2 weeks I was making an appointment, and it really improved my skills dramatically to the point where I was able to get a job, not just any job, the job of my dreams. That helped me to get that job, which was such a good match for all of my other skills and talents.
Both walked into the library novices, but because of the help offered by JCLS Digital Services specialists, they leveled up several times over.
That is absolutely invaluable. There is no substitute for sitting side by side with someone.
Just didn't realize that the library also had that sort of function available to us, and it was wonderful to be able to just talk with a person and be able to walk me through it.
When I put the team together, I'm looking for people who are definitely tech-oriented, but more important than that, I'm looking for people who have patience and who are willing to work with someone who has a very basic level, or even sometimes less than basic level of understanding of technology.
In addition to one-on-one sessions, JCLS Digital Services specialists also teach classes, held at library district branches or out in the community.
Our partnership is primarily on digital education. So prior to the pandemic, we had a couple of staff members from Digital Services who'd come down once a month and offer the one-on-one computer tutoring appointments here at Ashland Senior Center, so that patrons didn't have to go to the library. Sometime in 2022, we arranged to have Digital Services library staff come down once a month to teach what we call a Tech Basics class. So those are on Windows for PCs, Mac OS for Macintosh computers, iPhones, and Android phones. And we rotate through those once a month. Those have been pretty popular.
The first class that we offered here was the Help I Just Got a Smartphone, is what we called it. It was wonderful. The team from Jackson County Public Library came up and they taught 2 different classes, one on Android and one on iPhone, because they're quite different. A lot of residents, they get a new iPhone or they get a new Android from their grandkids and they're like, here, call me. And they have no idea what to do with it, and it's scary. But the Jackson County Library team came up, they hosted this, I want to say 4 classes, and the wait list after those 4 classes were done was so big, we had to bring them back up to do another 4 classes. So it was a high demand. The instructors were fabulous. They took a lot of one-on-one time. For the residents, they brought handouts. They sat down with each one of them and went over some specifics.
They really appreciate having a tutor that they can ask their questions, and then they come back and do more training or go to the library to meet one-on-one with a digital services staff person.
We've had a couple of instances in the past where people had a deceased relative, in some cases a deceased spouse, and they had an older cell phone with a voicemail from that person and they couldn't get to it. And we were able to access that for them. And in both cases, people just broke down and sobbed because that meant so much to them that they were able to hear that again. That's sort of out of the ordinary, but those are the moments where you kind of know what you did is just really means a lot to people.
When you help people connect with the world around them better through the use of technology, they have the tools at their disposal that are readily available, and the library makes it available for them, and I think that's great.